RTD Live Talk, Detroit's #1 late night YouTube talk show. We are live for a Monday night live stream, the first live stream or the second live stream of the new year. Excited to be joining you, or excited to be connecting with you guys again on this Monday night. So a lot of things worth talking about. A lot of things I'm sure are on the minds of a lot of people out here globally. And so I got a couple articles I want to talk about, as well as check in with you and find out what else is out there that we may not be familiar with or may not have touched on so far. So that being the case, welcome to this live stream. My name is Mike, the host of RT Live Talk. Looking forward to connecting and hearing from you guys. So before I dive into some articles I have, as well as sharing my thoughts on some things that's been on my mind, I want to check in via chat. So let me know via chat who's tuning in. Love to acknowledge your presence, give you a quick shout out, and welcome you to the fold. And so let me make sure everything is running smoothly on my end, and then we can make it work. Okay, so sounds good. Should be good to go. All right, so let me check in via chat real quick, and then I'm going to open up the phone lines, attempting this year to set more of a structured format by trying to stream a tad bit earlier and to keep everything short and concise so that we can get as many people to call in or share your thoughts, or I might even open up the video feature for those to check in with me via face-to-face to share what's on your mind. So low blood pressure in the building. Excalibur. Obadiah is Judgment. Okay. We got El Cryptomatic. Can't hear you. Okay. So let me know what's up in the chat. Thumbs up if you can hear me or not. So as of now, I can see myself on the audio side. So let me know. Story. We got Corey in the building. How you doing, my friend? Eddie Cruz from NYC. We got Kellogg. What's up? We got Kenneth Gibson. A bit early for a live stream. Yeah. So trying to shake things up a little bit. Jalaire, we got the Mrs. We got JoJo, low blood. Okay. So it's paid my property taxes. That's good news. Okay, it says audio good. Okay, we should be good to go. Okay, so yeah, welcome to this live stream, man. So so this week, I tweeted yesterday about how this week was being set up to be a hell of a week for many reasons. Not only we got the political charades with the Georgia situation, as well as the electoral count. We'll see how that stuff plays out. And so one thing that I'm curious to see is really how all this unfolds, because we're really at a historical point for this country. And a lot of us will have a chance to see some things that we would have never imagined we would see, especially on the political front, with this whole process of actually going back in time. So I think, according to what I just read a moment ago, the last time there was a potential standoff or show-off type of thing happened to be in 1876, if I'm not mistaken. And so I read through some of the historical elements of how this whole electoral count process actually works and what it's designed to do. And so we're going to find out what that's all about. And we'll see if Pence and the other House and Senate members will try to voice their opinions and have that. It looks like a 2-hour window of pleading their case as to why they oppose the electoral votes from whatever states they're challenging. So we get a chance to learn some history, man. I know I will myself. All right. So other than that, of course, one of the things that I've been really keeping an eye on, of course, is the financial markets, in particular, the digital asset space. And of course, as of last night and today, the precious metals market, because to me, those are the true indicators of the desire for the central banks around the world, as well as the financial sector and all those individuals, to really keep a hold of this current financial paradigm, because it buys them more time to further destroy the economy by utilizing their fiscal and monetary policy structures to further enslave and to destroy households the way they have allowed these lockdowns to do such throughout the last 9 months. And then you factor in at the beginning of the year, we're thrown with some type of variant strand of this COVID situation. And of course, it's hitting in certain pockets of the country, of course. And once again, it's a setup for more of what we experienced last year with the sudden push to probably slow things down and close up the economy, lock things down. And so, yeah, it's going to be a hell of a ride, people. But good thing is we're here and able to be a part of this extraordinary time, I think. All right, so let me dive in real quick. I got a couple articles I want to touch on, and then I'd love to hear from you guys. And so one of the things that caught my attention, of course, today was as a result of, it looks like the markets opened up relatively strong, referring to the equities markets, opened up relatively strong at first. And then all of a sudden, of course, the mainstream narrative was that this virus variant continues to spread. It caused a little of uncertainty, as well as with the Georgia situation. And of course, there's a market dip. And I saw one post commenting on that sudden dip throughout the day. And they mentioned that there hasn't been a New Year's, the first Monday of a new year dip like we had today prior to, or the last time it occurred was the stock market, the .com crash era. And so it's been over, well over almost 30 years now, 20 years rather. So is this a setup for something this year, or will there be more accommodative policies to keep this party going? Because I know one thing, everything right now is becoming more fragile than ever, and it doesn't take much for confidence to be lost. And as we're witnessing in the crypto space, especially, that stuff really had me over the weekend. I was really keeping an eye on those markets because it's one of the things. It's exciting to a point to witness the increase in something that is relatively new and disruptive, but also shocking at the fact that how fast Bitcoin is running, and to really think that it really hasn't even started in comparison to where it might be heading. And metals, of course, moved a couple percentage points, but nowhere near what the crypto space is. So imagine the time frame when the metals run as well, man. It's going to be quite surprising, to say the least. But anyway, so here's an article here. It says Dow falls. And so when I saw this, I'm like, okay, so they're setting this up for some type of week of uncertainty, because depending upon how Tuesday or tomorrow in Georgia goes, we'll see what happens with those two seats, because that will determine probably how the markets respond, whether it's favorable in the sense of Biden and his team having the control of both the House and the Senate ultimately, which will be very accommodative, more than accommodative for the markets. And if there's a hiccup to where the Senate seats happen to remain in the Republicans' hand, then there might be a little bit of gyration of uncertainty with the markets dipping further. But yet, ultimately, in the end, no matter who's in the office after the 20th, they're going to continue to do more of the same as far as pumping in funny money to drive those markets up. But I just thought that was something worthwhile. And then, as a result of this, you hear about what's happening over in the UK. And so the British Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, imposes national lockdowns on England. So that tier 5 happened to be basically them going completely backwards to the same level of lockdown as was imposed back in March, when, for the most part, the world came to a halt. And so they're going back that way over this new COVID variant. And I of course, not surprised at all. And so I think this variant is what Joe Biden was talking about a couple of months ago when he mentioned that, a dark winter's ahead. And as I've mentioned before, even Bill Gates came out and said that, what's coming next, that people will not be able to ignore or take it lightly. And so is this it? I don't know. We'll see. And of course, there's a lot of other talks on the I saw a tweet just a moment ago how New York Governor Cuomo was saying that he's talking about possibly rolling out fines on the hospitals in New York because they're not getting enough jabs in the arms of people. And so it looks like, as of now, and I know on my part as well, I've seen more news stories of people being willing to share information from around the world on how people are backing down. Even health officials are not, excited to go get that jab. So they're choosing to opt out while it's optional. And so I can imagine within the next couple of weeks, give or take, there being some push towards mandating some things once this whole authorization of this emergency use situation, because it's emergency use right now, but people aren't too pressed to go get it. So they might have to switch the script a little bit and get it officially approved. And then once it's approved officially, I imagine they can change the rules of the game there and try to get it into people's arms by force of some kind, or by threatening you or whatever. So we'll see how that goes. But once again, my correct personal opinion on this lockdown situation is that based upon this no new variant, it's a possibility that, it's no doubt if there's a Biden administration in the next couple of weeks, there's going to be another lockdown. So, but my personal opinion for some reason is that come January 21st, we might have two presidents for the first time. I don't know how it's going to play out, but I feel that that could be something that, why not? We're always living in this upside down, crazy world. So we will see how that plays out. But yeah, anyway, let me check in via chat, and then I'll got a couple more articles I want to touch on. Then I'll open up the phone lines, and we can touch on anything else that comes to you guys come to your mind. Citadel says we're going to 100,000 Bitcoin supply running dry. Yeah, man. And so I was looking at charts. I'm not a TA guy, but I've seen a lot of people talk about bubble. And of course, I don't think Bitcoin is anywhere near a bubble because the rally hasn't really began, because the limited supply of that particular asset there, in regards to the total supply of currency in circulation that will eventually try to make its way into something sought after, scarce, and right now that's pretty hot, lets me know that, it's going to rally a lot higher. But I was looking at one of the charts where it just went from 1920, and then that boy just shot straight up. And it looks similar to the M1 money supply chart that the Bureau of Labor Statistics and the Federal Reserve put out, showing something that just seems like there has to be a correction. It doesn't look healthy to shoot up to the sky. And it resembles, I saw somebody post a Weimar Republic, Germany situation when hyperinflation took off, and how that thing just shot straight up. And of course, we know what happened with the Deutsche Mark. So, but anyway, lockdowns coming to a place near you. And then also we hear about, we got billionaire investors, expressing their concerns over how the stock markets is just, it's not a very healthy position for them to be in. So they're basically positioning themselves, hedging against the correction. And so not only, it's, as I mentioned today, for those just tuning in, today's dip in the markets was the first time the markets dipped substantially since the .com crash, which followed. And so could that be the setup for something this year? We'll see. And so just to run through some scenarios real quick, I think that depending on how this presidential race situation plays out, I would imagine if for some reason, somehow, some way, if there's a second Trump term, then I would assume the orchestrating powers is trying to cover up the electoral fraud and everything else will make sure that these markets come crumbling down, because they need the ultimate distraction of distractions to keep the attention off of, a second term Trump doing some disruptive type things towards the globalist agenda, if that is the case. But if Biden does get in, Trump is not going to leave quietly. I was actually watching the Glenn Beck little video a moment ago, and he was saying that I guess, President Trump called him on the phone recently and told him that there's no way he's conceding. He's not going to back down no matter what. That means even after the 21st or the 20th, he's not backing down. So what does that mean? Like, he won't give up his position. So what's the process for removing him? So as I mentioned, start off with, there's a possibility we have a Republican president and a Democratic president. And then that puts a good case for Texas to continue to try to concede, as well as other states might decide to jump on board. And we really have what I've been talking about for quite some time now, is literally having a divided states of America. So, but we will see, man. What else it says? So Jeff says, buy some Bitcoin. People sitting at home bored buying stock and cryptos like fools. Yeah, man. All right, a couple more articles here. And so the one thing that caught my attention was this article here, because it's very timely, because it's inevitable, is that 2021 will be the year of guaranteed income experiments. So this year, we're going to have all types of democratically led states in particular looking to pump out more ways of getting funds into the people's hands. And of course, the Republicans don't have to go along with it, or it's going to make them look like they're not for the people. And so whether it's a Biden or Trump or both administration, a dual administration for the first time, somebody let me know in the chat if we've ever had a dual administration, but let me know how that plays out, because our government's already divided in of itself. So to have two presidents wouldn't surprise me whatsoever, ultimately. But the amount of programs they're going to roll out will definitely cause issues, on top of the fact the world is no longer really looking to continue to support the charades and the games that is happening within this country here. So it's going to put a lot of pressure on the dollar even further, even though today, I guess, it made the Dixie moved up a little bit because the equities dipped and uncertainty in the political sphere. But ultimately, we all know the final destination of the Federal Reserve note. It's not going to be something that you're going to be wanting to hold as all this craziness rolls through. And so in this article here, the author tries to lay out a case as to why universal basic income programs, the pilots they've done so far, has been a success, and it's addressed a couple issues. And some things they pull out here is that it's tackling poverty. By giving people a monthly stipend helps them go above the certain threshold of poverty. And the only thing that really occurs is that it just moves the bar of what numbers would be considered poverty. You just move it up a little bit because you just put more currency in circulation, which go ultimately reflect in prices for the things that we need going up, which doesn't solve anything. And then of course racial justice. And so once again, the inequality, black, white, Mexicans, there's this certain class is poorer than the next. Not really even shine light on the fact it's the monetary system itself. It's the very concept of fractional reserve lending, which has put funds in the hands of those that utilize the debt-based credit system to their advantage, and those that have been conditioned to consume their lives through financing and everything, and basically cash trapping themselves. And of course, it talks about addressing these, but at the end of this article, they paint this as being something that will be beneficial for the people. And of course, like I always mention, when you see stuff like that, that lets you know where we're heading. So it's coming this year. We'll see what it looks like, because of course the goal is to roll out the digital dollar format. And from the article, or the video I did earlier, China is definitely leading the way in that regards there. And so the U.S. will be the last one to do it. But will it be too late to offer any type of cushion or comfort for people as the dollar's officially destroyed? So, but anyway, enough ranting, man. Let's talk. I want to open up the phone lines and hear from you guys. And so feel free to chime in on any of the thoughts I shared. What are your thoughts about this week on the political sphere? What are you anticipating? Is there a possibility that there's a dual administration for the first time in this country's history? And what would that look like? And how divisive would that be even more so? Because right now, as we speak, we have caravans moving from across the country to be in D.C. in 2 days. And on top of that, I saw the National Guards will be put there. Police force will be put there. And then on top of that, another little article in the alternative media sphere saying that Antifa and all those other organizations are being bussed out there as well. So, George Soros's crew and all those deep state, deep state individuals, they're going to make sure that they're there as well to represent their cause to create chaos. And so they're literally, I was actually thinking about on the 6th going down there, but I'm like, that's not a place you want to be, because my personal opinion is all hell might break loose if something happens with this Pence situation, that might not be a place you want to be. But let's talk. Hello, Carlos. Where are you calling from?
Hey, how you doing, Mike? It's Steven from Milwaukee.
I'm doing good, my friend. How you doing? What's on your mind tonight?
I'm in there, man. Hey, listen, I got into gold and silver, more specifically silver, in the mid 2000s. Brother was running an organization just trying to educate people. Unfortunately, he ended up in a federal penitentiary for what reasons I can't say, because I don't know, but it sounded shady to me from the perspective of the government. However, I got into Bitcoin almost 3 years ago.
Okay.
And, I look at Bitcoin, okay, fine. No internet, no movement.
Yeah.
They confiscated gold in 1933, made it illegal to possess. Mm-hmm. So I lean more heavily to silver because of its usage,
right?
And it's affordable,
right?
But I am involved in all.
Right.
However, my thing is this, man. This stuff that they're doing right now, if anyone can't see that this isn't a planned event. Mm-hmm. None of what they're saying makes sense. If anyone does any bit of research on the COVID, the virus, the mask, It's the same playbook from the Spanish flu. And it's already been proven that none of these things work.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my question is, why are we participating in this foolishness? This is all classic Sun Tzu, divide and conquer, or even when you look at everything that's taking place with, Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, and all of the, let's just call it what it is.
Yeah,
they're trying to kill us.
Yeah, depopulation, my friend. But hey, let me get a couple more calls, and I appreciate your calling, my friend. Good to hear your voice as always.
Be well.
All right, be good. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Calling from Dallas, man. It's Obadiah Jersey calling from Dallas.
How you doing, my friend? What's your mind tonight? Give me a quick thought.
I'm doing pretty good, brother. Doing pretty good. I'm relatively a new listener. Actually enjoying your channel, enjoying the information that you bring out, man. You call it straight down the line, call it like it is.
Appreciate you, my friend.
Which is always good. Just quick comment I wanted to make. Everyone's talking about financial this and financial that. Mm-hmm. But I want to know to some of the viewers, what do we as far as the scriptures, as far as the Bible, what does the Bible say? Because if the Bible is the book that we believe in, if the Bible is the book of life, mm-hmm. what does the Bible say about these times that are coming up, man? All right, because a lot of people want to go about their own way, mm-hmm. but what does the scriptures say? The scriptures tell us about these times, and that these times are going to be horrendous, and these times are going to be dreadful, man. Yeah. And we're starting to see the beginning stages of this, man.
Yeah, it's very true, man. We are literally, and that's why people have mentioned before, the events and how they break down, and we're not there yet because we haven't really seen, the issues as far as the Antichrist being, pronounced in Israel and whatnot, and the desecration of the temple and stuff like that. But all these events are being set up, and this Great Reset agenda further plays into that because that's what they want to eventually achieve. So we're right on the doorstep of walking into that time frame that it's not going to be enjoyable. And so,
right. But the scriptures mention there being many antichrists. The antichrist mm-hmm. being the system, man.
Yeah.
Okay, legalizing homosexuality, uplifting pedophilia. Now with this whole vaccination that they want to put inside everyone, mm-hmm. and also the scriptures mention that the people, Israel is the temple, man. Mm-hmm. So the temple, the third temple that's being built, is a spiritual temple because the temples prior to that mm-hmm. have been destroyed. But this time they can't get their hands on the spiritual temple.
Yeah. Hey, good stuff, my man. Appreciate you for calling and sharing your thoughts.
All right, man.
Be good. Yeah. Yeah, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. I appreciate the thoughts. As always, give me a call. Let's talk. Curious. So let me get another call in here. Let me see. I missed a call here. Feel free to give me a call. Let's talk. Curious to hear what you got to say. And I see in the chat here some interesting thoughts. A lot of thoughts on Bitcoin out there. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Steve from Jersey.
Steve from Jersey. How you doing, my friend? Give me a quick thought tonight.
Good, man. So we had a little dip in the Bitcoin price, like I told you before.
Yeah.
It bounced up. But you know what, Mike? I appreciate you having this channel because a long time ago, without the internet, you had people scratching their heads wondering what's going on. So we're in a digital age and information is powerful. And so you are the voice for many people. So I do appreciate you spending your time, which is valuable. So kudos to you.
Appreciate you.
Good dude.
Yeah. And so to go with it, we'll go with that. And I appreciate that as well. Is also to provide the viewers a chance to share their voice. And so I know there's no such thing as a talk show unless you have other people to talk to. So I appreciate you calling in and sharing your thoughts, my friend.
Right. So you know what, Mike? I know you had mentioned about like ideas and thoughts, and as far as people mm-hmm. Giving their viewpoints and ideas for the show.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's possible, but maybe you can actually start to spend a little time on the streets and talk to people live.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I used to do that a couple of summers ago when it was warm, and I enjoyed it. But it was I got more rejections than I had actual opportunities to speak with people. But it was an interesting experience. So I have a couple of videos of that.
Right, but maybe the times now are a little different, and people may be a little bit more receiving of you because their heads are like wandering around what's going on. So they're looking for answers. And so maybe, going out on the street and give it a second try, So I thought that would be great. And then the other thing too, Mike, and I don't want to hold you, is that, people are talking about, Bitcoin and gold and the government and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest with you, the only way we can really get out of this is the actual community as a whole.
Yeah.
If you don't have a community and people don't lean on each other and realize that we are neighbors, brothers, sisters, and we take away this politics, religion, it's all divisiveness that separate us.
Yeah.
We are on a rock spinning around the sun in the middle of God knows where.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have to start to say we have to build community.
Yeah.
And as you build community, then you start to look and realize that you don't need these puppets.
Right.
But if you're not educating your children and you're not educating them about being self-sufficient,
mm-hmm.
then you're always going to be in need of governments or wondering about which politician.
Yeah.
I don't care you're Democrat or Republican. Those people are all the same.
Yeah.
Who you're going to vote for. You're going to vote for the Hatfields or McCoys.
Yeah.
They're both bad.
Yeah.
So you have to change your mind and say, listen, we can't do this. Let's start to focus on community and building the community up and supporting each other. And that is the only way this is going to truly change. But the other stuff is great talking points.
Yeah.
But it's always going to keep talking. You got to start building and building neighborhoods and actually getting out there and supporting your neighbor. And if your neighbor needs help, then you got to help them.
Yeah.
I grew up in a different country, Mike, and I don't want to hold you because
appreciate you,
I could talk forever.
Thank you for calling in, my man. I appreciate the ideas. And actually, I was going to put up on the screen here some ideas of mine that I, modeled, through the show. So I appreciate you, my friend.
Thank you very much, Mike.
Yep, be good. Yeah, man, great stuff there, man. So yeah, one of the things of assembling, and so as part of my little mantra here for the show, is things I've laid out over the last 6 years now, where I've been talking about these same concepts of the awakening period, the moment you realize that you don't know what you think you know, and everything that you've been taught, you find out is a lie, leads to awareness. Then you go out and get information, and then you start analyzing. That's why I've talked to buku people of all walks of life to further educate myself. And then once I realized that I've been lied to, I had to act. And that's when I started, really preaching the idea of getting your weight up and getting medals. And then, of course, the whole goal in doing all that, you can't do it by yourself. So you have to assemble yourself with like-minded individuals. And so this upcoming year, these 5 steps here, these 5 methods for unplugging from the matrix are things I'm really going to be out there on the streets, because well before the call, one of my goals for this upcoming year is to reach more people. And the best way to reach people is actually get out there amongst them and do such. So I appreciate that call, my man. And definitely I did enjoy the moments when I was on the streets talking to people, because a lot of people was like, oh, aha, you see the light bulb when it comes on, man. And it felt good to be able to encourage people to begin thinking outside the matrix or the box, as I would say. So anyway, a couple more seconds, people. We're going to dial back, man. As I mentioned, the goal is to get as many phone calls as I can in, to get a chance to check in with everybody and have people call and share a quick thought. So I see a lot of talk about the crypto space here. And, so here's the thing. The digital asset space is not going nowhere. We all know that. Hopefully you've taken the time to educate yourself, to better familiarize yourself with where we're being steered to. Like, no matter what your opinion is, we're transitioning to that digital sphere And within the next year or two or so, the idea of using cash will be gone. And so we'll be using a digital whatever, dollar or whoever is issuing it, that we'll be using that primarily, but there'll also be a black market or a non-official medium of exchange as well, whether it be through cryptos or people utilizing metals or whatnot for commerce. Or I think as time moves forward, innovation always rears its head as people become more as people are pressed. They find out how genius they are, and therefore we're going to have all types of alternatives outside of that, which will still be physical in nature. So I think moving forward, man, we're going to be pushed against the wall to where we're going to come out swinging with creativity, and things will be all right, man. But anyway, what else we got here? Let's talk for a couple more minutes, and then when that was all she wrote, trying to clean up my rotation of being able to get in earlier, get you guys connected, and then dial back and get ready for the next day, hopefully. What else we got here? It says, my community has become the Father, Son, the Holy Spirit. I can't trust anyone other than he who sticks closer than a brother. Good stuff, man. All right, let's take the last call. Hello, caller. Where are you calling from?
Mike, Tim, Colorado.
Tim, how you doing, my friend? What's on your mind tonight?
Oh, not much. I just want to say you're doing a great job with your channel, and all the people that called in today were great.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Yeah, so the goal is this year, as I mentioned, trying to condense the talks down to around a 30-minute time frame, get as many calls as we can, many thoughts shared, so that we can actually keep people engaged. So I know it's a long hour drawn out show, gets kind of long. So a lot of people fall asleep on me. So
hey, I'm not falling asleep on you. So just so you know, your time is not a problem with me, but you do what you got to do because you got a life too.
Appreciate you,
so you keep up the great work. Okay, brother?
I will do so, boss. Be good, my friend.
Okay. Love you, man.
Love you too,
be
boss.
Safe.
Yeah. Be good. Tim from Colorado. Good man. Good man. All right, people. With that being the case, you know what time it is. Getting ready to dial it back. I appreciate everybody for hanging out with me. And as I always mention, best way to stay connected is actually to go to the source itself, which is the website. And so I'll put that on the screen here. And so articles pop up throughout the day. Everything that I post, I put there, and all the recommendations I have here. Further educate yourself is there. And so you stay plugged in. And then also, for those that are in the community, definitely go over and join the Discord page. And so I appreciate everybody sharing articles there. So RTD Discord, you click this link here and you sign up for the Discord, join the community. It's like a forum, and I check in throughout the day and have a chance to hang out and talk. So for those that are on the Discord, about to head over there right now. And if you guys want to chat with there, I love to do so. But other than that, people, you know what time it is. While we still have the chance, while metals are still cheap, you definitely want to make sure you get your weight up. And so, yeah, let's keep it moving, man. As always, all the information you need beneath this video here. What about Theta? I think Theta is going to be a promising project. It's one of the things where I knew about it from when it was like 20 cents and now it's $2. Didn't move on it, but that's with a lot of other projects out there. So try not to be wish-washy with that. But anyway, that is all she wrote, people. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't be afraid to hit that thumbs up button. Show some love for the channel. And also, I'm trying to figure out new ways of expanding the community. So I'm going to put together some banners or whatnot. And if you guys would love to, feel free to share them on your social media so people can join us and we can try to grow the community so more people can realize what time it is. Because, right now is the time where I'm hoping that people are not holding on to too many of those Federal Reserve notes without putting them things to use. Because if you don't use them, government going to debase some things and inflate them away. So anyway, that's all she wrote, people. No more rant for me. Be blessed. Be safe. Peace. Hey there. Sorry for this interruption, but I wanted to bring something to your attention. If you've been enjoying this live stream, why don't you partner with me and be a support to the channel via Patreon membership for just a minimum of $5 a month. All you have to do is scroll down beneath this video here, click the Patreon link, then consider donating as little as $5 a month toward the channel. A little bit of crumbs can go a long way, and I appreciate your support. Now, let's get back to this live stream.